All right, everybody. Well, we've had 2 really hot days here in Sacramento, coming up over 90 both times. You know, getting more over 80 degrees for easily 10 hours a day. So it's been 2 days. I know full cure's 7 days, but I'm pretty confident that the sanding rating is when about 90% or the vast majority of the cure and the strength has come in by then. So in the interest of potential need for continued iteration, I'm gonna go ahead and try peeling these now. So here's that little test coupon I did to see how much the resin would kind of wet out, and it looks like it does a decent job. Everywhere that it's kind of slightly darker but not downright glossy in the sun is where it is wet out through the fibers. I'm also wearing my cleanestest gloves, as I was nice and itchy after handling this stuff last time. I guess the cut FRP is, well, it's got fiberglass in it, wouldn't you know? So I'm gonna go ahead and try here. I'll start one-handed, and if I need 2 hands, which, you know, hopefully I do, I'll prop the phone up somewhere and try. Here's the 250, and like we saw, we have a little bit of a not perfect seal here on the edge. There's the corner that really didn't get pressed down very well. But on the other side of looks like we did a pretty good job. And I'm sorry about the sniffles. I just ate some really hot, yummy salsa, so currently paying the price in my sinuses. But yeah, I might actually get my hands on this for a second and just kind of feel the stiffness. Not that on a piece this big I can really feel the flex, but I don't know, just give me a sec here. Alright, well, we're back. As I guessed, I couldn't really feel any difference in stiffness because these things are only 8.5 inches across, not exactly enough room to get them to flex. So here's the 250 sample. I am going to start with a good corner. I want to probably start on this edge here, right here, and I'm just going to try and peel it apart with one hand and see what our stick is like. Oh, there, I think I'm starting to get it a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's not easy. I mean, that's almost as much strength as I can get with one finger there. You know, working at a, sorry, bags are blown away, working at a point load. So let's try grab another corner over here, and yeah, so here we can see it's man, I really need 2 hands for this, but we'll keep going. It's on there pretty good. Like, there we go. If I'm shoving my hand down, I was able to peel it off, and well, look at that. On the 250, the dents I was talking about definitely don't adhere as well. So that's, I mean, that might be reason enough to go with the 400 right there, if the 400 checks out well. But the other thing I'm noticing is that where I glued, for the most part, it's ripping the foam off. All the black smudges, besides the ink over here, are from my very clean gloves. But yeah, so that was on there. It was firm. I was using my hand like a wedge and putting my weight into it to get it to peel away. So, not sure how that compares with other people. You know, I wouldn't want to glue an awning with a contact patch 4 inches by 4 inches to the outside of this and let it get flexed down by the full 10 feet or so of the awning. Like, it'd certainly delaminate there, but that doesn't scare me. That's I'm not too concerned about that. And that, even with the 250, didn't seem horrible. Like, if you're not planning to mount a bunch of high load things to your panels, I wouldn't be too concerned. But here's what I'm really interested in now that I know I can get this 400 at a reasonable price. See how it does. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. Here we go. So I got a lifted edge, or a protruding corner that I can really get a good grip on, and we'll try and peel that back. See how much better it holds on than the 250. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna set the phone down, put the other glove on, and give you the summary. All right, well, it looks like my contact patch was much worse on the 400, which is a little disappointing. But where it glued on, it's for the most part ripping off the foam. I'm curious. I might scratch at these areas that weren't pulled off by the foam to see if I just didn't put enough epoxy on or what, because I think this is the second panel, so I'm not sure if I put enough on or not. But that panel was definitely, moderately harder to get off. Not night and day, but moderately harder. I had to, use my hand like a wedge on my right hand and put some of my weight behind it. So overall, also the print isn't recessed, right? We clearly picked up and bonded to the printing much nicer on the 400. So overall, I'm not too concerned by this. I think this is good enough that I'm happy to move forward with making a larger test panel out of some of the stuff I have in the back of the truck, and see, maybe I'll make something long enough to go between the table and my steps here, and jump up and down on it or something, or really, stress it to make sure I'm not getting a delamination failure, or see what type of failure I do get on a beam like that. But this is definitely held on pretty good. I'd want to do water, or not water, buckets of water was Terra Ops suggestion. It's a good one. But the other ideas I had were like bags of kitty litter or wood pellets or something, because I feel like getting a nice even pressure over this is pretty important for good adhesion. So yeah, try a bigger panel here, probably tomorrow night, and see how that goes. Test out some of those adhesion techniques.